Guys, so we have multiple breaking news coming out. We're gonna start with this one first. Do me a favor and share this video. It says a seismic apocalypse is coming, and the news hides it like it's nothing. So I want to play this video really quick here, guys, and pay attention. Pay attention to this word. All right, so underway. Just pay attention to that, right? So let me just play this video. Here we go. You see that? Let me just slow it down. So it says here a mile wide underwater volcano is ready to blow its top off the West Coast. All right, this is CNN. Scientists predict one of the Pacific Ocean's lesser known volcanoes will blow its vent in the coming months, causing 10,000 earthquakes in one day. I think it's important for the West Coast to start preparing. Alright guys, before I start, for those of you that want to send us letters or prayer requests, you can send it to me, US Santiago, or my wife Jessica Santiago at 3432 US Highway 19, number 2, Holiday, Florida 34691. And for those of you that want to help and support the channel, we do have the Cash App link and a PayPal link in the comments box and description box. We did talk about this volcano, and is off the coast of Oregon, if I'm not mistaken. And according to experts, if this thing blow, it's not gonna do anything. 2015, it last blew 2015, and didn't cause anything. There was I think a couple of thousand earthquake, but it seems like this one here, there's a possibility someone might have put that out there to let us know that it will cause catastrophic event. There's a possibility. Once again, this is from CNN. So a mile underwater volcano is ready to blow its top off the West Coast, and scientists predict one of the Pacific Ocean lesser known volcanoes will blow its vent in the coming months, causing 10,000 earthquakes in one day. Don't forget, Alaska is sounding the alarm too. 200,000 Americans were told to stock up and prepare. So those regions, like the Pacific Ocean, there's going to be some burning explosion mountains that is going to cause the ground to shake. I mean, it's going to shake. All right, so they keep telling us everything's going to be great, everything's going to be fine. But at the same time, yeah, we are seeing an earthquake, the New Madrid, Texas. There's been a lot of earthquake. This earthquake in Argentina. There was an 8.0 earthquake. Remember that? And what was it? It was the Caribbeans. And remember that 7.0 magnitude earthquake in Texas? And they downgraded that to a 5.2. So pay attention, guys, and prepare yourself. The Bible says there will be roaring, tossing of the sea. There will be mountains being moved from its place. All right, there's going to be some shaking. There's going to be wars. There's going to be the sun, sign in the sun. This solar flare just out of control. I mean, we are definitely seeing a lot of signs here. A lot of sign. So I do have the news article for this one. We're going to get to that. And do me a favor, again, please share this video. I want to show you some of the stuff here that I just pulled up. We're going to talk about this one too. And it says here, airlines take steps to ensure they keep flying even after the outbreak of nuclear war. So once again, airlines take steps to ensure they keep flying even after the outbreak of nuclear war. That's where we're at. So they're getting ready for worst case scenario, nuclear. So a couple of days ago, I went live. We talked about the $21 trillion underground city and the bunkers, the FEMA bunkers in Virginia. They are upgrading the bunkers. Now they're telling the pilots, hey, if things go down, if you see mushroom clouds, stay in the air, do not land. So we're going to get to all this here, guys. Preparation of wars and so many things that's happening. Volcanoes and earthquakes. Now here's the sun. Here is the sun. Earth doom date confirmed by Nerd Computer. Okay, so yeah, we're going to talk about this later on. Gavin Newsom, the California governor, Gavin Newsom, said that he banned tents. You know, the tents on sidewalks. He's going to ban it, after 7 years? It took you that long? He's going to ban tents on sidewalk or lose billions in state funds. Oh, okay. So Donna's like, you better fix that. If not, I'm not going to be sending no funds to your state. All right, so we're going to get to that one. Breaking news, guys. The warehouse fire paralyzes West Baltimore, chokes Amtrak's. Yikes. The U.S. has shut down the southern border. The livestock imports to stop the spread of deadly flies. Here's another volcano. Calaon volcano erupts. Ash blast rattles towns nearby. This thing blew, and boy, oh boy, it blew really hard. Jeez. The burning mountain. The Bible mentioned the burning mountain. And here's the sun. Wowzai! Take a look at this monster filament of plasma that just erupted off the sun. Gorgeous. The main eruption appears to be directed north, but modeling efforts will soon reveal if any part of it is heading towards Earth. And look at this. A meteor in Western Australia yesterday. The signs of the heavens. A giant black ring floats over Kansas and stops traffic, melts internet. Ugh. Man. Yeah. What in the blue is that? Man. Alright, so we're going to get to all this here. Buckle up. Close to 20 states may be at risk for severe weather, including tornado, later this week. 20 states. Alright, so we're going to get to all this news here, guys. We're going to get to all this news. All right, give me a second here. Let's go with this one here. The mile-wide underwater volcano ready to erupt of the West Coast. Look at that. That thing is gonna blow at any moment. Deep underground. We're talking about in the ocean, Pacific Ocean. It says here things are heating up hundreds of miles off the coast of Oregon, and they're saying that 10,000 earthquake in one day, where a large undersea volcano is showing signs of impending eruption. The volcano, known as the Axial Seamount, is located nearly 1 mile, that's 1.4 kilometer underwater on the geological hotspot, where searing gushes of molten rock rise from Earth mantle and into the crust. Hotspots volcanoes are common on the seafloor, but Axial Seamount also happens to be located on the Juan de Fuca Ridge, an area where two massive tectonic plates, the Pacific and the Juan de Fuca plates, are constantly spreading apart, causing a steady buildup of pressure beneath the planet's surface. The frequency of earthquake has recently picked up dramatically as the volcano inflates with increasingly more magma, signaling an eruption could be near, according to researchers at the National Science Foundation Ocean Observatories Initiative Regional. We're going to skip all that. All right, so they are really sounding the alarm here. Give me a second here, guys. This news article is just really okay. So, yikes. Yeah, the news article is going nuts. Give me a second here. Let me just pause some of these advertisements really quick here, man. Let me just read this part because it doesn't give me an option to pause it. At the moment, there are a couple hundred earthquakes a day, but that's still a lot less than we saw before the previous eruption. Now it says here, I would say it was going to erupt sometime later this year or early 2026, but it could be tomorrow because it's completely unpredictable. So what happens during an eruption? Well, during the volcano last eruption in April 2015, the team observed about 10,000 small earthquakes in a 24-hour period, and that the same can be expected for the next one, this person said. So they are sounding the alarm, 10,000 earthquake in one day. And even though 2015 it wasn't that bad, this one here, ladies and gentlemen, it could be very bad. So you have to prepare yourself spiritually, physically, mentally. Magma, molten rock beneath Earth's surface, oozed out of Axial Seamount for a month and trailed about 25 miles, that's 40 kilometers, across the seafloor. Now, the magma chamber at the heart of the volcano has also collapsed several times in the past, creating a large crater called a caldera. There, sea life thrives of the mineral-rich gases that exit through hydrothermal vents, which are like underwater hot springs. Streams of hot fluid containing billions of microbes and clumps of waste billow up from cracks in the caldera surface, creating white plumes called snowflowers. Now, during previous eruption, the small plants and animals living on the hydrothermal vents were scorched by lava flows, but just 3 months later, the ecosystem was back and flourishing again. Now, I think it's one of the biggest discovery we made. All right, so these inhospitable environment and volcanoes are probably one of the major sources of life in our oceans. It's gonna create some kind of massive, possibly wave of, I wouldn't say tsunami, but it's gonna cause something. It's gonna shift tectonic plates. While neighboring marine life, such as fish, whales, and octopuses, may feel the heat and rumble of seismic shifting, they are unlikely to be harmed, and people on land probably won't notice the eruption. It's not a very explosive event. You won't see the ash cloud above water, anything like that. It's like if you put a mile of seawater on top of Kilauea, you may see some fountaining, but that's it. Now, in fact, most of the planet's volcanic activity takes place within underwater spreading center, such as the Juan de Fuca Ridge, which experiences multiple small volcanic eruptions each day. Now, the magma pretty close to the surface is about a mile beneath the surface, which is very shallow compared with a lot of volcanoes, a lot of land volcanoes, where it may be 8 miles, 12.9 kilometers deep, adding that the viscosity or thickness of the magma can affect how much pressure buildup in the magma chamber, like a thick tomato sauce cooking on the stove. Air bubbles within high viscosity magma rupture more dramatically than axial seamount. Thinner, runnier magma. Alright, so a lot of this stuff here I'm just gonna skip, guys. But according to the experts, it ain't gonna be catastrophic. But you cannot go by April 15, 2020. I mean, April 2015. You can't go by that because, again, just because it didn't happen that big, years ago, 10 years ago. I can't believe it was 10 years. You can't go by that because, again, 2025, it could be catastrophic. All right. So we're going to skip this one here, guys. And we're going to go with the next one, which is we're going to go with this one here now. Airlines take steps to ensure they keep flying even after outbreak of nuclear war. So you have airlines are taking steps to ensure that they can keep flying even after the outbreak of a nuclear war. Jets could continue to fly following an atomic blast. Boom! Under special insurance policy being drawn up to address the possibility of conflicts escalating in Ukraine and Kashmir. Now, current policy that date back the 1950s will force the grounding of all civil aircraft worldwide in the event of a single nuclear detonation, based on the assumption that this would lead to the outbreak of a third world war. The escalating conflict between India and Pakistan over Kashmir have raised global concerns, with fears of a potential nuclear confrontation between the two nuclear-armed neighbors. As tensions soar, the aviation industry is taking unprecedented steps to ensure operational continuity in the event of a nuclear detonation. And you guys already know those two countries, well, again, they went back and forth tit for tat, but right now things kind of ease down, and it goes to tell you that it was this close, just that close. So according to a recent report by The Telegraph, airlines are developing specialized insurance policies to allow flights to continue in regions unaffected by localized nuclear conflict, marking a significant shift from traditional protocols that ground all civil aircraft globally after a single nuclear event. Once again, India-Pakistan conflict centered on the disputed region of Kashmir has intensified in recent weeks, reaching levels of hostility not seen in decades. Both nations, equipped with nuclear arsenal, have exchanged missiles and drones, with India targeting alleged, I'm going to skip that name, infrastructure in Pakistan, and Pakistan retaliating against Indian bases. This violence, the violence which has resulted in dozens of military casualties, prompted a brief cease plan, mediated by the U.S. by violation have already been reported. But violation have already been reported. Nuclear capability of both countries add a chilling dimensions to the conflict. India is estimated to possess around 160 up to 170 nuclear warheads, while Pakistan has approximately 170, basically the same amount. These two together would cause a huge catastrophic event. And the population combined, 1.7 billion. That's scary. It says here, including tactical nuclear warheads, like the Nassar missile designed for battlefield use. Development of smaller tactical nuclear warheads has shifted the perception of nuclear conflict from an apocalyptic, all-out war to a scenario where limited nuclear strike could occur, necessitating new strategy for industry like aviation. Now, historically, aviation insurance policy drafted in 1950s mandated the grounding of all civil aircraft worldwide in the event of a nuclear detonation, based on the assumption that such an event would trigger a global war. And that was during the time of, again, you had World War II, and then, Russia and stuff like that. So even the schools back then here in our country, they used to had the nuclear alarm sirens going off, and how to prepare yourself, get under the desk, and this and that. It says here, however, the emergence of tactical nuclear equipment with yield as low as 0.3 kilotons compared to the 15 kiloton Hiroshima, has prompted insurers to rethink this approach. These smaller warheads, like the American B-61 or Pakistan Nassar, are seen as more usable in localized conflict, potentially allowing unaffected regions to continue normal operation. Gallagher, a leading insurance broker, is spearheading efforts to create flexible policy that will permit airlines to operate in regions far from a nuclear detonation. Nagel, a senior partner at Gallagher, emphasized the need for such measures, stating, "Why should Air New Zealand, for example, be grounded in the event of a nuclear detonation? In Europe, that was quite minor, albeit not for the people near it." The proposed plan involves a select group of insurers supported by a security expert from Osprey Flight Solution, evaluating safe flight corridors and minimum altitudes to avoid risk, like the ground-to-air missiles. Now, it says here, this initiative draws parallels to how airlines navigate other disruptions such as volcanic ash clouds, which affect large areas but do not halt global aviation. By establishing safe corridors and adapting to localized risk, airlines aim to maintain connectivity, even in the face of a nuclear event. However, the challenge lies in balancing operational continuing with the unpredictable fallout, both literal and figurative, of a nuclear detonation. The ongoing Pakistan-India conflict has already disrupted air travel in the region. Pakistan closed its airspace to all flights until noon on Sunday, May 11, 2025, following India's strike on its military bases, while India barred Pakistani airlines from its airspace. International carriers, including Air France and Lufthansa, have rerouted. Give me a second here, guys. Rerouted flights to avoid Pakistani airspace, resulting in longer flight times and increased fuel cost. Flight Radar 24 reported that 52 flights to or from Pakistan were canceled, and Pakistan may lose significant revenue from overflight fees, which can amount to hundreds of dollars per flight. Passengers have been advised to contact airlines for updated schedule, and carriers like Swiss, part of the Lufthansa group, are offering free rebooking for those missing connection due to rerouting. Now, it says here the situation underscores the aviation industry vulnerability to geopolitical crisis and the urgent need for adaptive strategies to mitigate disruption. All right, some very important information in this one here. You know what the Bible says, though? And the Bible is filled with metaphor. The stars will fall from the heavens. The stars will fall from the heavens. Now, again, for those of you, don't know where to find that, that's in the book of Revelation. The stars will fall from the heavens. That's in the book of Revelation, the sixth seal. And, when the Bible mentioned the star falling from the heavens, it's, I see it as a metaphor for satellites, even this falling. Because if you look at the sky at nighttime, you see like a light and you think it's a star, but it's not a star, it's a plane. And sometimes people do get confused and mistaken by a star. So many will fall down from the heavens, which is looking up, or the sky. All right, so we're going to go with the next one here, guys. We're going to go with the next one. Give me a second here. If you can, please share the video. Let's see what's going on with this one. I was not going to read this, the Doomsday stuff, but let's see what's going on here. Earth doom date confirmed. Guys, no one knows the day or hour. All right, only the Father. All these people with all these predictions, oh, we know when the world's going to end. It's going to end in this shit. They don't know nothing. They don't know nothing. Just like the so-called prophets on YouTube. They don't know nothing. They're just making, again, they're using our Lord for money and profit. They're making themselves look like fools. And they are wolves disguised in clothing of lamb. And they are deceiving many people. It's sad that the people still listen to them. It's really sad. This is where we at. And, Jesus says that many will be deceived, even possibly the elect. It says here, NASA and Japanese scientists just ran 400,000 plus simulation on a mega supercomputer to figure out when Earth goes full game over. Well, the bad news? The sun's getting brighter, hotter, and sassier. And by the year, what is that, 1 billion? That's 1 million. Will be out of oxygen and full of fried Microbes? Okay. I think that's 1 billion. 1 billion. Um, 2021, if I'm not mistaken. It said eventually it turned into a giant fireball and maybe eat Earth for breakfast. Okay, that was so late. I don't even know why I read that. Okay, here's the thing, guys. Read Second Peter. Second Peter, the King James Version. Second Peter. All right. The Bible again, Second Peter tells us that the heaven element will go with a big bang, and everything will be burned and just completely destroyed. And for those of you that don't know what the meaning heaven elements, the heaven elements are the sun, the moon, the star, the earth, the planets, everything. Those are considered the heaven elements. In the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth. All right, God did not create the kingdom of heaven. It was already, it was already there. The kingdom of heaven, the angels were there already, and Jesus was with the Lord. So the kingdom of heaven was already there. But when God created the heaven and the earth, it was referring to the heavens elements, the planets, the stars, everything. God created the heaven and the earth, the heaven elements. And God said, let there be light. And there was light. And God saw that it was good. So, and if you go to verse 14, God created more light. He created two lights. A lesser light to govern the night, which is the moon, and a greater light to govern the day, which is the sun, the greater light. And God also created stars. So there were multiple lights that God created. All right, these are the heavens elements. When God said, "Let there be light," and that was time. Time was formed. Time was born. Time was born. All right. So in Second Peter chapter 3, Peter mentioned that all this will go out with a big sound, and everything will burn and obliterate. The sun, the earth, everything will be gone. This heaven element will be completely erased. In the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth. At the very end, once everything is fulfilled, God will uncreate it. And there's no saving it. Elon could come out with all this idea. He cannot save it. He cannot save it. How can you save this planet when you yourself are not saved? Okay, let's go to Mr. Gavin Newsom. He's been put in timeout. Timeout, Gavin. Newsom to California City. Ban tent or sidewalks. Ban tent on sidewalks or lose billions in state funds. It sounds like Donald. Donald is the one that said that to Gavin. Gavin just launched a plan to tackle homelessness. He wants cities to ban tents, camps, and street sleeping on public property like parks, sidewalk, and bike paths. The catch? Well, cities that follow his plan could get a share of $3.3 billion in state funds. Those that don't, no money. Here's the thing, Gavin. You give money to those people that came from other lands, and they didn't came here the right way, but you still bless them. You get billions every year. Instead of going to them, it should go to us. It should go to the sleeping giant citizen. It should go to the Californians. But no, you gave all the goodies to the new people. You maxed out everything, and now California is under investigation. It says here, why now? I don't know. Again, 7 years, Gavin. What? Almost 7 years. Now you're about to become this man that's gonna clean up the region. It says California has over 187,000. Wow. Residents homeless, making up about 1/3 of the entire U.S. population. Sidewalk encampments in tent city have become the most visible signs of the crisis. The new rule says people can't sleep outside for more than 3 days, in a row unless they're being offered shelter. But Gavin insists this isn't about jail time. The law does not require criminal punishment if there's no other place to go. Cities must also offer support like shelter beds, counseling, or DRUG treatment before clearing encampments. This is part of a broader strategy voter backed last year, forcing counties to spend more on housing and addiction treatment. Gavin message to the city leaders: we gave you money. The courts gave you legal backup. Now do something. Mm. All right, guys. Let's see what's going on with this one. This one here. This is from someone made a point, and this happened many, many times. And of course, the people's gonna be like, "We told you there's aliens. There's aliens." It's not aliens. It's not. Someone made a point and said, "It's this here." Oops. It's basically you have factories out there, and sometimes you have the factory releasing some of the carbon monoxide, whatever they call this thing, and it just create this ring. So yeah, I wouldn't worry about this one here, but yeah, that's what's going on. So guys, this one here, I will keep it updated. Multiple states has put out the message that this possibly, well, in the next couple of days is going to be a huge severe weather, and including tornadoes. So 20 plus states. I'm still waiting for updates, and I will keep it updated on this one tomorrow or later today. Rounds of severe weather, including tornado, to escalate in central eastern U.S. during mid-May. All right, so I will keep you updated on this one here. All right, so we're gonna skip the rest, guys. It's a very long video right now. Hold on, what's going on here? What's going on here? The Red Dragon 6th generation J-50 fighter jet has had another test flight. All right. Um, yeah, I think I'm gonna end it here, guys. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Wait a minute. You have an air raid alarm sound throughout Crane as March 12 deadline passes with no cease plan. The Bears struck Crane with drones and guided bombs during the night, targeting regions after the May 12 deadline for an unconditional cease plan expired. Alright, guys, so I'm going to end it here. Like I said, we keep it updated with the world news event. Do me a favor, share the video. Thank you again for your support. Have a good night, and God bless to every single one of you. For those of you that want to send us letters or prayer requests, you can send it to me, US Santiago, or my wife, Jessica Santiago, at 3432 US Highway 19, number 2, Holiday, Florida, 34691. Thank you so much for watching. Till next time later. Peace.